A first date isn't about impressing a man with a perfect dress. It's about showing just enough of your presence and charm to make him want more. Many women after 60 think they need to reveal everything, share their whole story, or prove why they're still dateable. But a little mystery, genuine warmth, and clear boundaries are far more attractive than listing out achievements. Hi, it's Vernon again. Today I'll share 4 first date tips that make a man not only want to see you again, he'll even think about you long after the date ends. Before we dive in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. That way, you'll never miss more timeless advice on love, dating, and confidence after 60. Guidance to help you walk into romance with both wisdom and joy. And the first tip may surprise you because it has nothing to do with beauty or status. It's about something every man craves, but rarely admits.
Number 1. Keep it light and playful. There's a wonderful line from Nietzsche. The power of laughter is greater than the power of anger. I would add that on a first date, laughter is also greater than beauty. Why? Because long after a man forgets the shade of your lipstick or the detail of your dress, he will remember how you made him feel. And if you made him laugh, if you lifted the heaviness of life even for an evening, he will want to feel that again. Playfulness is not about telling jokes. It's about showing that you can take life lightly, that you don't carry the whole weight of the world into a conversation. It's the way you smile when the waiter forgets your order, the little joke you make when the menu is too complicated, the warmth in your voice when he shares a story and you tease him just enough to make him grin. That lightness is unforgettable. My friend Arian, who is 60, went on a dinner date not long ago. She thought her dress would be what he noticed most. She had spent hours choosing it, but later, when she asked him what he remembered, he said, "Your laugh. The way you teased me about the soup. The way you made the waiter chuckle, that's what stayed with me." Think about that. She had put so much energy into her appearance, but what lived in his memory was her humor. Men, especially after 60, carry a lot. They may have health worries, financial stress, family responsibilities. When you bring lightness, you give them a gift they rarely receive, a space to breathe, to enjoy, to feel young again. That's why humor is magnetic. It lowers defenses and builds connection faster than any long speech ever could. Psychologists say that laughter releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It's the same chemical that deepens trust and makes two people feel closer without even realizing why. A smile can soften the hardest man. A laugh can bridge a gap years of small talk never could. Playfulness has to be genuine. Forced laughter feels hollow. Performances fall flat. The real magic comes when you let your natural warmth come through, when you're willing to laugh at yourself, when you're not afraid of being a little silly. That authenticity is what stays with him. The man who walks away smiling is a man who will want more. But playfulness works best when it's paired with something deeper, the kind of presence that makes him feel truly seen.
Number 2. Be genuinely curious about him. Curiosity is a form of respect. When you lean in and ask a man about his life, you're not just gathering information, you're saying, "I value who you are. I want to know what shaped you." That alone makes him feel seen, and for many men, That's rarer than you might think. It's easy to believe that attraction comes from what you reveal about yourself, but often the strongest attraction is built on what you invite him to reveal. When you give him the space to share, you allow him to show his depth, his values, his humor, even his vulnerability. That's how connection takes root. On a first date, most people fall into one of two traps. Some talk too much about themselves, hoping to impress. Others ask superficial questions like, "What do you do? Where are you from?" without really listening to the answers. Both leave the man feeling unnoticed. Genuine curiosity is different. It slows the pace. It turns a date into a conversation that lingers. Imagine sitting across the table and asking, "What's something you've learned in the last 10 years that changed how you see life?" Or, if you could relive one joyful moment, what would it be? Questions like these aren't about facts. They're about meaning. They allow him to revisit the chapters of his life that matter most. And when you listen, not to reply, but to truly hear, you offer him a rare gift. There's an old saying from the philosopher Epictetus, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." On a first date, those words are gold. Listening doesn't mean nodding politely while planning your next sentence. It means putting away the mental checklist and letting his story be the center for a moment. Men can feel that difference. This doesn't mean you turn the evening into an interview. Curiosity isn't interrogation, it's warmth. It's following the thread of what he shares. If he mentions loving music, ask what song takes him back to his youth. If he speaks about his grandchildren, invite him to tell you what makes him proudest. When your curiosity flows naturally, it creates ease instead of pressure. Most men after 60 aren't used to being asked about their inner world. They're asked about their job, their responsibilities, their health, but rarely about their passions, their memories, their lessons. So when you show real interest, you stand out immediately. What's one question you would love to ask a man on a first date? Something that would open the door to a deeper conversation. Share it in the comments. Your idea might give another woman just the spark she needs. When you practice genuine curiosity, you do more than gather facts. You create a safe space where he can drop the mask. And when a man feels safe to share his story, he's far more likely to want to write the next chapter with you. And curiosity becomes even more powerful when you balance it with the art of mystery. Number 3, reveal just enough about yourself. Oscar Wilde once said, "A little mystery is the beginning of attraction." That wisdom applies perfectly to a first date. Too many women, especially after 60, when they feel they need to prove their worth, end up sharing everything too quickly. Childhood stories, past heartbreaks, health struggles, even their fears about the future. While honesty is important, giving too much too soon doesn't build trust. It overwhelms and removes the spark of discovery. Think of it like a novel. If you hand someone the last chapter in the first 5 minutes, why would they keep reading? The joy of a book is in turning the pages. A first date works the same way. You want to offer him glimpses, not the entire library. Reveal enough to feel real. Share a passion, maybe your love for travel or how gardening makes you feel alive. Mention something you're excited to learn or a goal you've set for yourself. These touches give him a sense of who you are now, but hold back the heavier chapters until trust has been built. Not every page needs to be read on the first night. Psychologists tell us that attraction thrives on 2 forces: familiarity and mystery.
Familiarity comes when you open up enough to feel warm and approachable. Mystery comes when you leave room for curiosity. When you combine the two, you create balance. He feels invited in, but also intrigued to know more. That tension is what keeps him coming back. Instead of saying, "I've had 3 failed relationships and here's why each ended," you could say, "I've learned a lot about myself through past experiences, and I'm excited for this next chapter." The first version feels heavy. The second version feels hopeful. He doesn't need the whole history. He just needs to sense your resilience and openness. Another way to think of this is as seasoning. Too little, and the meal is bland. Too much, and it's overwhelming. The right amount keeps him curious. That curiosity is what makes him call you the next day, replaying your words in his mind. As the philosopher Lao Tzu said, "He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know." In dating terms, the deepest confidence comes from restraint. When you know your worth, you don't need to pour everything out at once. If this resonates with you, save this video. You may want to re-watch it before your next date as a reminder to let your mystery work for you. And if you have a friend who tends to overshare, share this video with her. It could be the gentle nudge that changes her results. Revealing just enough isn't about playing games. It's about pacing. It's about letting him enjoy the process of unfolding who you are. And when you master this art, you don't just create interest, you create desire. The next tip is what helps him leave with more than a good time. It leaves you on his mind even after the night is over.
Number 4. End the date with grace and confidence. The final moments of a first date are often the ones that linger the longest. A man may forget parts of the conversation, but how you end the evening leaves a lasting imprint. Ending with grace and confidence is like closing a song on the perfect note. It makes him want to hear it again. When I was first dating my wife, I remember an evening that shaped how I think about first impressions to this day. We had talked, laughed, and shared pieces of our lives. But what struck me wasn't just the stories we exchanged, it was how she ended the night. She smiled, looked me in the eye, and said warmly, "I've had a wonderful time, Vernon. Let's not rush this, but I'd enjoy seeing you again." Then she walked away, steady and calm, not desperate, not clinging. That simple act left me thinking about her for days. Why did that matter so much? Because confidence at the end tells a man, "I value this time, but I also value myself." It leaves him intrigued because you're not handing yourself over, you're inviting him to step forward. That distinction creates desire. Ending a date gracefully also removes pressure. Some women rush to ask, "Do you want to see me again?" Others overshare their loneliness, hoping it will make him stay. But pressure suffocates attraction. Confidence, on the other hand, breathes space into the connection. It tells him, "I am at peace with who I am. If you want more of me, you'll have to pursue it." In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, "Nothing can bring you peace but yourself." Carrying that peace into the close of a date shows maturity, self-assurance, and strength. A man over 60, or any man really, finds that irresistible, because it signals you're not chasing love from emptiness, but sharing it from abundance. So how do you practice this? As the evening winds down, offer sincere thanks. Let him know you enjoyed his company. Then end with warmth but also clarity. A confident smile, a steady goodbye, even something playful like, "You've given me a good reason to look forward to the next chapter." These moments lodge in his memory far more than any dramatic gesture. Ending with grace and confidence is not just about him, it's about you walking away whole, self-respecting and radiant. And when you carry yourself like that, he won't just remember you, he'll want more of you. Because in the end, the best first dates aren't about perfection. They're about leaving him leaning forward, hoping for another chance to see you again.
Now you've walked with me through 4 first date tips that can change the way a man sees you. Keeping things light and playful, letting him feel your genuine curiosity, revealing just enough of yourself to spark desire, and ending the evening with grace and confidence. When you weave these together, you create more than a date. You create an experience, one that leaves him smiling, thinking, and wanting more of you. Attraction after 60 is not about competing with younger women, nor about proving your worth. It's about presence, about showing him that you carry joy, wisdom, and self-respect into the room. That is what draws the right man closer. You don't need to carry old habits, fears, or mistakes into a new date. You only need to bring the woman you are now, light, curious, mysterious, and confident. As Rumi once said, "Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop." So tell me in the comments, which of these tips will you try on your next date? Your choice may inspire another woman to step into love with courage. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more wisdom on confidence, trust, and love after 60. And be sure to check the description. I've linked more videos there that will help you deepen your confidence, avoid common mistakes, and find joy in dating again. I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.